Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place for another grocery haul video. Today's video is going to be our first grocery haul after our Frugal February challenge, where I'm going to go back and restock all of the things that we used up during our extreme grocery budget / use it up challenge during February. But before we get into that and I show you what I picked up to restock my pantry after our challenge, I just wanted to say a big, huge thank you to Danny Z, who actually gave me my very first super thanks during our Frugal February challenge. Your support of my channel means the absolute world to me. This little bit extra thanks that you gave me really helps me to continue to create the type of content you guys are enjoying and providing you guys with these videos, uploading them, all of that sort of stuff. I really appreciate all of your support. So to every single one of you who sits there and watches all the ads and all of those sorts of things, you are helping to support my channel. Commenting helps to support my channel. Giving it a thumbs up helps to support my channel. And I really appreciate all of that. But to Danny Z, thank you so very much for giving a little extra thanks and giving me my very first super thanks. That extra support of my channel really means a lot to me and means I can continue to keep making these sort of contents for you, and definitely helps me out on this end when it comes to all of the logistics and that sort of stuff that goes into producing all of these videos for you guys and uploading them. All right, let's get into today's grocery haul and I will show you what we picked up to restock after our big Frugal February challenge. You might be surprised, you might not, I don't know. Let's turn this around and we'll see what I actually needed to stock up on. Bearing in mind, we are going to continue to keep eating frugally. I want to keep reining in that grocery budget. We are going to keep using up the things that we still have on hand in our pantry, our fridge and our freezer. But at the end of a very long challenge, we did need to go back and get some stuff. So let's hit the shops and let's pick up a few bits and pieces. And here is today's little grocery haul, just picking up all of the things that we've used up and the things that we like to keep on hand. So I guess this is restocking the pantry after our Frugal February challenge. $122 right here. It's kind of crazy really when you think about it, but let me tell you what we've got and why we've got it. So I do have 12 of the Woolies macro soy milk. This is the one that we like. So we worked out that we use about 5 or 6 litres of milk a week for everything. That's breakfast, coffees, baking and all that sort of stuff. So I like to keep this one on hand. It saves me having to go back to Woolies all the time because this is the one that we like. And I usually just go and buy a whole carton when we go into Woolies. So there's 20 bucks right there, or just shy of. I have picked up 2 packets of oats while I was at Woolies as well. They were just a standard price. We do use ever so slightly more than one of the Woolies bags. Interesting thing that I learned during our little experiment during February is these bags are only 1.5 kilos, where the Coles ones are 1.8. Now per 100 grams they are the exact same price, so I am probably better off maybe just going to Coles and getting them. I don't know, but I have got 2 because we only have half a cup of oats left and 1 bag is not enough to get us through the week, so I've grabbed 2 of those. I've also picked up an oat milky. This was not on special. When these go on special for half price, I will buy another 12 and stick them in the pantry. This is what Shannon prefers to have in his coffee in the morning. Charlotte and I are quite happy to have the soy milk, so that works for us, but we do usually keep one of these on hand each week for Shan to have in his coffee because this is what he prefers to have. So we have picked up some things that everybody prefers just to have now that we're not doing the challenge anymore. All right, I have picked up a 2 kilo plain flour and a 2 kilo self-raising flour. I'm just about out of the self-raising flour with all of the baking and stuff that I've been doing, and I've been using a ton of plain flour to make all of our bread and rolls. Now this works out so cheap, it's insane, that I think I'm actually going to keep doing it, but I was at the point where I needed both, so this week I've had to pick up both, but that's okay because I'll get 4 loaves of bread out of a 2 kilo bag of plain flour, and the self-raising flour will probably last me a while. Just doing a little bit of baking, maybe some cupcakes or muffins, or something along those lines. But yeah, some baking supplies there. We'll keep working across the back. Oh, I should actually say, sorry, maybe I should have done this differently. We have Coles and Woolies, and I realise I am now merging into Coles. What do you guys reckon? Should I just stick with Woolies and we'll just do the Woolies stuff because that was a small shop? Woolies. These guys here were from Woolies because I forgot to get them at Coles. Chickpeas. I've got 2 tins. I'm going to have a go at making some hummus. We have not had hummus for our Frugal February and we've kind of missed it. And everyone keeps telling me how easy it is to make. So you know what? I'm going to give it a go. I don't know how well that's going to end, but anyways. And I also picked up some onions from Woolies because I forgot to get them from Coles. So that is the end of our Woolies story. All right, back over here to Coles. We've done the flour. I also grabbed some TVP. I was completely out of this, used this up in the challenge. It's something that I like to have on hand in the pantry. And I like to get the one from Coles because that's just the one that I like. I also picked up a Vitasoy Protein Plus soy milk because, again, feeling very experimental. I'm going to have a go at making my own yogurt. So yogurt is something that Charlotte has actually missed quite a bit, and I have seen that the Protein Plus soy milk is the better one to use, just in my reading and my research. We are going to get a yogurt maker, just the thermal one, and I do need to try and get a plant-based yogurt, a soy yogurt, with the probiotics in it. So I'm looking at the Vitasoy one as well, but I'm just going to wait until that goes on special. I grabbed this today because I finally actually saw this at Coles. Every other time I've gone and looked, it's been out of stock on the shelf. So I did grab this one, even though I'm not quite ready yet, but I will very shortly. I've also replaced the walnuts. So there was $7 just here in this bag of walnuts. I do keep these in the freezer, and again, we add these to lots of different things. I make carrot and walnut muffins, so lots of snacks that are loaded with good healthy stuff, but I was completely out of walnuts and I didn't have any, so we haven't made any of those yummy muffins in a couple of weeks because I didn't have any walnuts. So I have now rectified the walnut situation. Walnuts are really good for you, good source of omega-3s, healthy fats, so always a good thing to have those on hand. But again, $7 just for this bag here. I would have put prices up on the screen for you guys, but you can see how quickly this is adding up. You know, $7, $3, $5.50. Let me tell you about the cheese, because there's like $25 worth of cheese here, which is just crazy. But again, Charlotte prefers the Nature's Kitchen cheese, and this is not available in all Coleses. So we've been to a couple of Coles supermarkets that just don't stock this, and this is what she likes. So we've grabbed 1 packet of the cheddar slices and 2 packets of the shred. I am going to stick one of these in the freezer, and they do have a long date on them as well. So this is best before October. So we will use these before October, so I'm not worried about that, but they have been really hard to get. So I found them at the Coles that we're at, so I have stocked up. The other thing that I grabbed that was quite expensive, this is the vegan plant-based cheese that Shannon and I prefer. We do not do a lot of plant-based cheese and meat alternatives, but occasionally we do. and this is the one that we like, and I'm going to stick this one in the freezer too for those times where we just want to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on something and have it melt. But again, these are going to go in the freezer and they're going to last a long time. But yeah, right there, $25 worth of cheese. It adds up so quickly. Hiding behind the cheese is some wraps. I was going to do enchiladas last week. I think this week I might do something a little bit different. I think I might do some fajitas. But yeah, that's just a meal plan thing. And I do have some chocolate baking chips for some cookies that Charlotte wanted to make for her little friends. They're not vegan ones or anything, they're just regular ones. But she wanted to do some baking and wanted to do some cookies for her friends. So that's why that is in there as well. All right, and speaking of things that we don't get very often, I did get the Veggie Delight sausages today. This was a Charlotte request. She really wanted bangers and mash, and you know what, this kid was so good during our Frugal February challenge. She didn't complain about any of the meals. Normally we try to involve everybody in the meal planning that we do, so that everybody has something that they want to eat and they're looking forward to. But unfortunately during Frugal February we really couldn't sort of work in a lot of the things that Charlotte wanted to do, and she was so good about it. But this week, you know, I said as soon as we're finished, pick what you want, and she wanted bangers and mash, so we're doing bangers and mash. So $6 for some Veggie Delight sausages. Actually, I think they may have come from Woolies because I think they're on special at Woolies. Oh, all right, bananas, $3.50 a kilo. There's only 6 here. It's a little over a kilo. Bananas are expensive, but you got to eat some fruit. I have 2 red caps here. Like I said, I think we're going to do some fajitas. They are getting quite expensive. They were $10.90 a kilo. So my 2 little red capsicums here cost a couple of bucks, but you know, sometimes that's the price of food in Australia. Was completely out of minced garlic. I keep this one in the fridge. I ran out during the challenge and I just made do with the other herbs and spices that I had on hand. But the challenge is over now, so I'm going to replace that one. And the other thing that from Coles that we really like are these Nature Kitchen pestos. But again, they're not in all Coles supermarkets. So I have 2 of the sun-dried, 2 of the pesto. They're going to go in the pantry and they're going to last for ages. We're not going to use all of this in 1 week. We probably won't use it all in 1 month. It will roll over for us, so I'm not worried about it. But it was there, it was available. We like it, so I'm going to get some and put it in the pantry. I can't remember if I also said about these, but anyways, we'll do it again. Chia seeds was completely out of chia seeds. Again, this is another good source of omega-3s and protein and all that sort of good stuff. And it's just a pantry staple for me. I use it quite a lot in cooking and baking, and sometimes even just chuck it in our overnight oats. We ran out during the challenge, and now I am replacing it because that is a pantry staple for me. But again, not cheap. So you can see how this is really quickly escalating to a $122 shop. Coles couscous. Oh, I don't know what the deal is with the home brand couscous from Woolies, but I don't like it and it just doesn't work for me. So I get my couscous from Coles. I am a bit of a brand snob sometimes. I try not to be too much, but this is one of those things. I've tried the Woolies one. I don't know what the deal is with it. It just turns to concrete when I try to cook it. So I like to get the one from Woolies. Sorry, I like to get the one from Coles. I don't like the one from Woolies. And yeah, I will probably sort of stock up a little bit on these as well. $2 for a box. They don't take up a lot of room. And interestingly enough, there are more Woolies around Australia than what there are Coles. So I tend to bulk up on the things that I like from Coles because they can be a little bit harder to get traveling around. 2 packets of spaghetti. No particular reason other than I couldn't decide, so I got both because I'm not on the challenge anymore and I can do that sort of stuff. We'll probably use one this week and one next week, or I don't know, maybe we'll use both this week. I'm not really sure. And the other thing was that Charlotte has not had special breakfast for the duration of our challenge, in that she just gets to pick something that she wants. We put it in the cupboard, and she can have that instead of overnight oats, usually once a week. She picked muesli, which is so similar to oats. But anyways, this is what she wants. This is what she got. We normally do overnight oats for breakfast, or some variation on oats, but she's got something different. She's got toasted muesli. So there we go. That is how very, very quickly, and I know it doesn't seem like it, but that is $122 worth of groceries. And this is our little haul that we got from the farmers market. Have to forgive me, we have got into some of this stuff already, but this is what we picked up. So watermelons were $1.50 a kilo, which is a pretty good price. This one cost us $8. I can't remember how big she said it was, but it's a couple of kilos of watermelon there. We also picked up a kilo of white nectarines and a kilo of plums. As you can see, there's not many of those left. They were $5.50 each a kilo, which is not a bad price. The big score though was this bag of yellow caps. It was $5. They are odd shaped. Some of them look prettier than others, but this whole bag, which is over a kilo, was $5 just because they're weird shaped. We also got a bag of gala apples that I think were $5. So again, another really good price. This box was full of tomatoes. $8 for a box of tomatoes. They are cooking tomatoes, but we have some that we will use just for sandwiches and whatnot. I did give some to our friends, and I've cooked up about this amount, so I will need to do 2 pots. So one pot already has this many tomatoes in it, which I've cooked up and got into the fridge, and I still need to cook this lot up. But this whole box was full of tomatoes for $8, which is just kind of nutty. 2 massive big heads of broccoli. These are ginormous. $2.50 each. Have a look at that. That's huge. So heaps of broccoli. I did pick up a bunch of kale, which I've already de-stemmed and put in my container just so I can fit all of this stuff in the fridge. $3.50 for a bunch of kale, and then 500 grams of, or half kilo of strawberries, which again, yes, we've been into those. There's not that many left. That was $6 for half a kilo of strawberries. So that was our little find at the farmers market. Very happy with that. Apologies again that it's not all here, but you know, sometimes stuff gets eaten. Well, there you go. I think we can see how our grocery budgets can really quickly escalate, and it would be really easy to be spending a couple $100s a week on food if we're not being really intentional about the things that we're buying. So one of the things that I want to say, this was a stock up shop for us. So I've specifically gone and purchased things that I've completely used up in my pantry, and I have stocked up on some things that I know are going to last me longer than a week. So I'm expecting some of those items to actually last in my pantry for several weeks, and I don't have to replace them each and every week. So I'm not spending that much and just buying that much of those products each and every week when we're not doing a challenge. But going back into that sort of shopping after having done a frugal shopping experiment really highlighted to me how if we're not being particularly intentional and maybe just picking up even just a few little fancy bits and pieces can really bump up our grocery budget pretty quickly. And then if we're not using those things, if they are just sitting in the back of our pantry or hidden in the back of our freezer, that really is money that's tied up and just sitting on a shelf somewhere. So it has definitely reiterated to me that we want to be using up all of the things that we purchase because we spent good money purchasing them. Alright, I'm going to leave today's video there. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you did, if you could please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't already, hit that little subscribe button down below. Now would be a great time to go and do that. Don't forget to tick that little notification bell so you can be notified when my next video comes out. I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic week, and I do hope to catch up with you in my next video. Until then, take care, my friends, and we'll talk soon. Bye.